Was tithing just for Israel? You asked it, and I'm going to answer it. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Renee, and one of our viewers wants to know, was tithing just for Israel? As you've heard me say many times before, is that tithing was a part of the old covenant that was established between God and ancient Israel. And I refer you to Exodus chapter 19, verses 5 through 8. And in those verses, you see where the covenant is made between God and ancient Israel. In Leviticus chapter 27, verse 30, we see where God gives ancient Israel that specific command to tithe. Now, under the old covenant, there were 613 commandments that ancient Israel had to follow in order to receive blessings from God. By the same token, if they broke any of those commandments, then they would be punished. And of course, the old covenant was replaced by the new covenant. And this was foreshadowed in the book of Jeremiah in chapter 31, verses 31 through 33. Now you have to understand that tithing was a system of rituals and sacrifices that ancient Israel had to perform in order to please God and to stay in God's good graces. And of course, once the new covenant was established, then there was no need to perform all these types of sacrifices and rituals. In other words, there was no need for the tithing system. So I just point that out to just highlight the contrast between the old covenant and the new covenant, and to show that under the old covenant, that tithing was only for ancient Israel. So let's recap. Was tithing just for Israel? Yes, it was for ancient Israel. God required ancient Israel to pay tithes as part of the old covenant. And of course, once the new covenant was established through Jesus Christ, the sacrificial and ritualistic system of tithing was no longer necessary. Therefore, tithing is not a requirement of New Testament Christians. So I hope that answers your question. And if you want to take your study and your knowledge of tithing to the next level, click the link below in the description box and download 3 free chapters of the Tithing Hoax. Is tithing linked to salvation? No. Your salvation is linked to 2 things and 2 things only: Jesus Christ and God's grace.